Good morning, everyone. My group is confirmed by Jaime Rodriguez, Cristina Vidal, Sebastián Tautiva, Angie Rodriguez, Cristian Soto, and me, Laura Diaz. Today we're going to talk about AI in politics, and I will give you an introduction that will help you to understand more about the subject and the problems that we are going to talk about. First of all, we can find a lot of false content on social media and other platforms that may contain false information, negative messages about candidates, or fake news, and more. For example, WhatsApp messages, television, news portals, fake posts, and in Facebook or Twitter. And this causes that the image of the candidates can be damaged and causes that the true meaning of each proposal or message that the candidate wants to send to the society be lost. And then we can find manipulation of public opinion, and this can adulterate individual voters, and this is why the vote isn't 100% true and focused on the interest of each voter. And the vote can be manipulated with social pressure. That's why the platform that we create has the purpose of making the vote to be focused on a neutral opinion. And in the platform, we can find information about each candidate, like ideas, contributions to the society, political inclinations, about their career too, and an extensive research about each candidate. And in this way, the application can show you the candidate according to your interest throughout artificial intelligence.
Currently, there is a large implementation of artificial intelligence in elections around the world. Presidents like Barack Obama, Donald Trump, and Jair Bolsonaro have used data collection techniques to focus their campaigns on specific points in the country, predicting the candidate for which citizens want to vote. This in social networks like Facebook and with the help of Cambridge Analytica, in addition to generate fake news. Another example of data prediction was the study Artificial Intelligence for Election, the case of 2019 Argentina primary and presidential election, where data was collected from citizens on Twitter, getting quite accurate data. Thanks to all these events, people have lost confidence in politicians. In European Text Insights 2019 released this because it wants to found that 25% of Europeans want artificial intelligence to replace politicians. So there have been cases like Alish in Russia, who ran for president getting 25,000 votes, or like Michihito Matsuda in Japan, who ran for mayor and got 4,000 votes. Or in New Zealand, Sam, all of these are artificial intelligence, which make us as if we are properly informed.
Hi, my name is Christian. And what interventions have been used in the past to address this social problem or challenge? Okay, the UNESCO warned of the impact that the political, technological, economic, and social transformation has had on the way we exchange information in recent years, and especially on the contamination caused by some orchestrated disinformation campaigns. Behind the fake news, there is a $1 million industries that generates money. The more times a news is compared, therefore they attract advertising. Okay, those campaigns pose a threat to fact-based journalists, and particularly during the current pandemic. To people lives, companies want to put their ads on the page that get the most visitors, and so fake news with a lot of clicks can be very lucrative. UNESCO Director of Communication and Information Policies and Strategies, and one of the leading UN experts of disinformation explained why failures relate to all global aspects have become commonplace. The reasons for spreading disinformation are many and include political goals, self-promotion, and attracting attention as a part of some business model. Those who do experiments with emotions, fears, prejudice, and ignorance, and claim to bring meaning and certainty to a reality that is complex, challenging, and rapidly. The increase in fake news, which has multiplied their ability to spread, partly to grow social media, in something that concerns companies as well as political parties, institutions, governments, and individuals. So there are governments like Malaysia that punish those who share a lie with up to 6 years in prison. We must be attentive to verification of the material from the users while offering warnings to account for the steps that have been taken to verify the content will help the audience navigate between the confusing arguments and counter arguments that circulate. The technology companies like Facebook have wanted to improve their programs and control mechanisms to prevent the spread of false news. And finally, you can also find yourself stopping for a minute before sharing, distorting everything that is actually too good to be true. One of the best ways to stop the spread of disinformation is to educate audience so that they can critically appraise the news they share on social media.
So to reduce disinformation and abstination, we will show case again this situation and disorder in to diminish disinformation and abstination. We have one. What is disinformation? The concept of disinformation we find of false information in content in social networks and platforms, the legal collection data of development of political microprofiles to use the platform and social network for operating of fragile influence, the amplification of discourses of the hate or offensive content through fake accounts. What happened, we use the term of fake news. First of all, it's better to talking about the disinformation than fake news. The cruelty to ambiguous to empty character than the concept of the fake news has occurred to being to use the political actors to delegitimize the journalist information then appear against them. 3. Why why is important for citizens to be well informed during election campaign. A more correct vision is understand that this information refers to diverse of them contradictory phenomena that precisely during the electoral period the protection of freedom of disinformation and expression must be guaranteed if possible. Here is the role of the state can appear as the warrant of the democracy election process, increasing the reinforcement of defense coordination and digital literacy during the electoral campaigns. 4. What the role will play the electoral base in the electoral campaigns? We do in the current the media usually they follow the similar structure we can to summarize in background information, characterizing particularities of debate, columnist analysis with the chronicles analysis of the debate, live information, the development of the debate. 5. What role will Facebook and WhatsApp and Twitter another type of social networks playing the election campaign. Traditional is being to say to election campaign to serve to persuade the however what we have seen too recently in election in other countries that can be too effective in derailing the potential voters on the undecided people from going to vote. To love intensive use approach to reality, which is becoming the increasingly complex means the concept we share the most spread of the social networks such as Facebook, Twitter, or WhatsApp, and Messenger on another messaging platform. Finally, to political abstinence is reduced by information citizens, well as not letting to them fall the disinformation and demonstrating the benefits of exercising their right that bothered by encouraging this as duty of the society.
Hi guys, I'm James. I'm going to talk about how artificial intelligence can improve the problems of suffrage in political elections. First, many people think that artificial intelligence is a threat for democracy. That because artificial intelligence are often used to mislead, misinform, and confuse. But like you know, that depend on the use that is given. For example, what data we provided, who programmed it, and with what purpose was created. I think also it's easy to blame artificial intelligence for all problems in politics, but we could equally be repurposed to support democracy. For example, artificial intelligence can be used to have a better political campaigns in an ethical and legitimate way. Legitimate way. The first problem we identified was fake news bots because they are usually created with the purpose to misinform. And now exist different projects created for journalist groups where you can say the fake news by WhatsApp and they will research and give you real information to share. Okay. With artificial intelligence exists a project using deep learning and machine learning to identify these bots and accounts who share that fake news. And with artificial intelligence, we can identify the patterns, and they could issue a warning that the information is suspect and explain why. The other solution is develop a neutral analytics tool because with that we can study each candidate taking in account education, political career, ethics, and veracity of proposals. Why that? Because, like you know, many candidates lie with the sole purpose of winning the elections, and with that tool we can identify that. Okay. Also, we can use artificial intelligence to have better listen with the people, okay, or what the people want to say. Make sure that their voices are being clearly heard for the candidates, and with that, we can deploy campaigns to help and educate voters on a variety of political issues. That will help the people to make up and they were the mind. For example, if a person is interested in environment police, artificial intelligence will help them to find out each or what candidate talk about environment and will recommend based on different research. I think the artificial intelligence in politics is not going away anytime soon, and with that, with artificial intelligence, we can decide better.
What do we accept and what we don't? What prevents us from accepting some situation and others not? Ethical dilemmas arise as AI moves forward and breaks paradigms. It is our duty to inform ourselves to face the challenge there is in making decisions with the help of the AI. Today, AI is helping in a huge role in the ability to exert precise influence. Politicians are relying on technological advancements such as analyzing big data to engage and connect better with people. Political parties use different types of foundation, association, or organizations to advertise political message on Facebook and Instagram with the aim of trying to convince or dissuade the undecided based on their interest. Also, AI can be used to send political messages that are deceitful and fake by analyzing the unique psychographic and behavioral user profiles of voters. How? They launch an extensive advertising campaign to target persuade voters based on their individual psychology. Another example is the absence of legal guarantees. Bots are used to manufacturing the illusion of public support. But algorithms tools that are used to deceive, misinform, and confuse could also be reused to support democracy. AI can be used to run better campaigns in an ethical way. We can, for example, program political bots to intervene when people share articles that contain misinformation. They could issue a warning that the information is suspicious and explain why. In other words, it would do the better work for fact-checkers, which would consist of monitoring social networks to verify the information that passes through them, while also feeding back and reducing hate speech online.